Tell me when. Okay. Okay, welcome to Port Loop. I am 15 minutes from Birmingham city centre, and this is an excellent area to understand more about urban regeneration and urban deprivation, but also how urban regeneration is an opportunity for sustainable urban living. So you can see the Port Loop sign behind me. And that sign is on an old warehouse. This whole area was originally built. We've got the canal just to my right hand side here, and I'll come back to explaining about the barge a little bit later on. And then the factories in the background were all built around the 1800s. I think the canal was in the late 1700s during the Industrial Revolution, when Birmingham, remember, was that workshop of the world. We were making things out of metal. The canals were used to import the raw materials and coal to power the factories, and then the canals were also used then to take away the finished product. So with the industrial decline, and as these factories then begin to close down with competition from abroad, and we're importing more of the things that we need now, these factories have been left derelict and empty, and they have then attracted crime, homelessness, drugs, and the area around here is Ladywood, really close to the city centre, and generally we're talking about an area of urban decline, high unemployment, poor health, poor access to education, poor diet, etc. Really run down, so an area of neglect. And what that then presented for Birmingham City Council was an opportunity to regenerate. So all those challenges that were facing the council, they've then turned that into an opportunity to regenerate and to think about what they'd like to use this area for the future. So if you can see then, if we just pan round, we've got those warehouses and that are closed down. There's lots of graffiti around, actually broken glass, and it's really feels unsafe inside. And then if we just pan round in the foreground, then you start to see these lovely grasses. It's autumn. Don't fall in the canal. And then you can see the development then of Port Loop. So there's about 10 different stages of Port Loop, and these new houses that you see here are parts of some of the earlier stages. So now we can see how regeneration is working. So there was a long time of decommissioning the land. So right in the background, just sort of through the trees, you can probably see just a heap of stone and soil. So before anything could be built on this obviously old industrial land, they needed to clear the land. So it's an opportunity for environmental improvements, really. And I think a lot of this is about the environment. So to be sustainable, we've got to think about the environment. So once the land had been cleared, they then think about how they're going to build these properties. So to be sustainable, we need to think about energy, water and waste collection, and what we can do about all of these. So these houses are built in a factory. I think it was somewhere further north from here, actually, Derbyshire way. And each of these, their modules are delivered on the back of a truck. They're built to be energy efficient, and everything is kind of built, factory made, even the sockets and the plugs and the plumbing and everything, and they just literally arrive and slot them in. But they are designed to be energy efficient. Big windows, so bright light, so you can reduce the amount of light that you need on during the day, reduce the amount of heat that you're using during the day. They all have electric charging points for vehicles, and they have a very well resourced waste collection scheme. But actually the people here are very much part of the community. So people that live here either work in the city centre, so they don't need a car because they're on the bike. It's a 15-minute walk, or you can use a boat or a kayak along the canal, so some people do. Or actually, part of the urban design is that many people now want to work from home. So some of the uses of these factories are going to be turning into a place for office space for people, just a hot desk, so you can go in and book your space. So the latter phase of these warehouses is going to be homes, but also offices. There's going to be kitchens in there for community gatherings, parcel delivery, so your Amazon delivery can get delivered there, and the community will look after that. A space for art, so there's going to be an art gallery, rehearsals for community drama and events. And in the summer, this space here is for children to come out, where the community, they're reading books. There's a creche for where kids can be looked after. And then back where I started is an area here for, so it's their communal gardens, and it's one of Birmingham's newest open spaces in decades to encourage the local people to enjoy the great outdoors. So the little garden that's going on there is a herb garden. You can come out and pick herbs if you're cooking. Anyone can come and use it, and it's to encourage neighbours to get together and talk to one another. And then back to the barge here on the canal. The barge is always here, but twice a week residents are encouraged to come out and have free cake and coffee and just talk to one another. So it's really important to engage the community in a project, to have that ownership where they respect their environment, respect each other and understand each other and work together to make the whole environment work. So it's a place for healthy urban living, a place that's being regenerated, where they're thinking about water, energy and waste. Okay.